Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome each of you today to today's featured presentation, Our Support Means Your Success, brought to you by VALIC. I'm David Testerman with BrokerHunter.com, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. I did want to let everybody in the audience know that today we will be having a Q&A at the end like we do on most of our webinars, so just make sure to ask any questions you have during the presentation via the chat pane. And we're going to try to get to all the questions at the end of the formal presentation. And all of you can see your the question pane there on your webinar control panel. So just make sure to ask any questions via that chat pane. If for some reason we are not able to get to your question today during the live presentation, someone from VALIC will be following up with you to answer any questions you have. So with that being said, I would like to welcome today our first speaker from VALIC, Joan Simpson. And Joan, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David, and good afternoon, everyone. As David said, my name is Joan Simpson. I'm the Regional Vice President for VALIC in the absolutely beautiful Southwest region. I'm located in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's really a pleasure to be hosting this call this morning to introduce all of you to the company, the incredible company, really, where I've built my career over the last 19 years. I have been a financial advisor, a district manager, and a regional vice president. In my role as regional vice president, I lead approximately 220 financial advisors and 10 district managers to build success for themselves, their families, and really doing that through always putting our clients first. So we do what's best for the client, what's good for the advisor, and certainly what's good for the company. This has always been our approach, and it's really how we've built our business. Today you are going to hear a lot of interesting facts and information about the organization and also about our careers and opportunities. But one of the really special and unique things about the organization is relationships and the relationships people here have. There are a lot of wonderful people at every level in the company, and for years we've really built our advisor team by referrals and bringing in friends and family. I was actually, again, 19 years ago, I was actually referred to the company from some really great friends who knew a senior leader here. And I remember having a discussion with this person and just thinking, wow, if everybody at VALIC feels like that, that's an organization that I want to be a part of. And I can tell you that it's still that way today. I have the pleasure now of introducing you to one of those people. Sean Duffy is our Executive Vice President and Chief Distribution Officer. Sean has relationships with brand new rookie advisors. He speaks at every new advisor training and interacts with advisors, as well as having deep and really solid relationships with our long-term veterans. They know they can approach him. He's extremely approachable, and he's an executive that's really involved in every aspect of our business and the organization. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the time over to Sean Duffy.
Great. Thank you very much, Joan. Really do appreciate the comments. And good afternoon, everyone. Really looking forward to sharing with you some background on VALIC and what we have to offer our career financial advisors. I hope to show you what a great place VALIC is to build your career while helping people in your community plan for secure financial futures. I think the best place to start is to explain a little about our organization. VALIC benefits from being part of AIG, a leading international insurance organization. And AIG companies, including VALIC, are leading providers of life insurance and retirement services in the United States. In fact, AIG helps about 18 million Americans plan for a secure retirement. AIG is really well known as a leading insurance provider and also for our CEO, Bob Benmache, who led our organization through one of the greatest turnarounds in corporate American history. AIG is building recognition as a very caring organization. In fact, AIG just earned a spot on this year's coveted Diversity Incorporated's 25 Noteworthy Companies list. And AIG and our people have a history of giving to their communities. In fact, AIG paid out about $7 million last year in matching grant donations. The community focus at AIG, it's consistent with the positive impact VALIC makes in the communities where we work and where we live. And now I'd like to tell you a little bit more about VALIC, and we'll move to the market snapshot slide. For over 50 years, we've served as a leading retirement plan provider for healthcare, education, government, and other not-for-profit institutions. In fact, we wrote the very first 403B in K-12 exactly 50 years ago. That was at Miami-Dade Public Schools, and it's a partnership that still exists today. Since then, the company has grown. We ended 2013 with over $85 billion in total assets under management, and we manage plans for nearly 25,000 employer groups, serving more than 2 million plan participants. As you can see from the markets that we serve, we help the people who help people, and our advisors are really proud of the difference that they make in the lives of these doctors and nurses and teachers, the people we serve. We are in the process of growing our distribution organization, which currently includes about 1,200 advisors, reporting into 48 districts in 6 regions. That means we have opportunities for licensed financial advisors and district managers across the country. One of our district managers, Kai Lee, from our Chicago Metro District, is going to be providing some specifics around the opportunities here. But first, I'd like to share a little about what I think makes VALIC so very special. First, say that our advisors, they're assigned a book of business in an established territory. They aren't cold calling down a list of people. They have work sites and campuses to visit, or as we like to say, they have places to go and people to see. In addition to having places to go and people to see, we do offer very competitive GDC payouts, and we provide the full AIG corporate benefits package. That includes comprehensive medical, dental, vision, and 401k. And then in addition to that, we do offer a cash balance pension plan, which really isn't something you see many of our competitors offering today. Second, I would say that we really support the people we hire. We provide basic and advanced sales training as well as ongoing training through our wholesaling team and our educational conferences. You'll find that we offer a wide range of support services as well. These are things that you don't pay for out of your own pocket. We provide technology support, national and local marketing campaigns, paid licensing, as well as compliance and OSJ services. I know that our advisors feel supported. Just another real quick example, just recently a newer advisor hosted a Social Security seminar, and she was pleased to find that really all she had to do was pick up the phone. She was able to talk with somebody who helps walk you through the planning of the event, marketing of it, ordering the materials, really all of it. You can call someone to explain our financial planning tools as well, or if it's life insurance, we have a dedicated support team for that too. The point is that the level of support that you get here at VALIC, it's really second to none. I do think that's why we have so many advisors who make VALIC a family business. We have several husband-wife teams. We have fathers who bring in sons and daughters, daughters bring in mothers. In fact, about a third of our advisors, they come to us as referrals. And I think that really speaks volumes about how our advisors feel about the opportunities here at VALIC. Next, just quickly want to talk about our mission at VALIC. Our mission is to be the premier provider of protection, investment, and income solutions needed for financial and retirement security. And I've always liked our mission statement. Our goal is not just to be a premier provider of protection, investment, and income solutions, but to be the premier provider. And I believe with VALIC's experience in our space and our resources, we really do have everything we need to reach our goals. With that, I just want to wrap up by saying that if you feel that the opportunity we offer at VALIC is something that you could feel passionate about, we'd ask you to join our mission. We're looking to grow our sales force by adding a diverse group of smart, conscientious financial professionals who are passionate about VALIC and our clients. So with that, I want to say thank you, and I'm going to turn this back over to Joan to introduce Kai Lee.
Great. Thank you, Sean. Thanks so much. Great comments, as always. I love the phrase, we'll give you places to go and people to see. I use that a lot, and it's a reality. And I think it's something that's very unique about our value proposition. You know, a lot of you on this call probably spend a substantial amount of time and money prospecting for new clients. So, you know, our goal here at VALIC is to really have you in front of clients at all times and not have to spend so much time joining organizations and looking for ways to meet people at cocktail parties. And also, you know, thank you for talking about the company benefit package. You know, our 401k, the cash balance pension plan, just to name a couple, those are very unique in the financial planning advisory world. Well, next, I do have the honor of introducing a real professional business coach and consultant. And that really is what our district managers are and what they do for you. So many of you having experience and, you know, background expertise in the business, our district managers really come alongside you to show you maybe the VALIC rules of engagement, if you will, for groups, and they offer guidance and feedback to help you sharpen skills, business acumen. But one of these managers is Kai Lee, the district manager in Chicago. And 8 years ago, when I met Kai in Chicago in the Midwest, I was managing the Midwest at the time, I knew that I had to have him on my leadership management team. And even though we don't work today, we're not together, we're not in the same region, I have so much respect for what Kai does, and he really exemplifies professionalism. He has a total understanding of this business. You know, he focuses on leading and coaching great advisors with the goal of really taking people from good to great. And with that, I will turn over the time to Kai.
Thank you very much for that warm introduction, Joan, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to address top advisors. First and foremost, I joined VALIC, like Joan said, 8 years ago, where I spent my previous 8 years starting in this career with a financial planning organization as a financial planner, as a manager, and as a branch manager. And I saw the biggest opportunity in joining VALIC was what I believe was the number one resource that all great advisors value, which was the opportunity to spend more time seeing clients as opposed to merely prospecting for them. And when you look at our opportunity of having 25,000 groups serving nearly 2 million individuals and clients and these long-term relationships, that allows our advisors to get in front of more individuals on a daily basis and to provide financial advice and to provide that ongoing value. That's why when you consider our business model, it's really about our group relationships, our existing clients, and our defined territories. So if you look at that slide on our business model, you'll notice that what we emphasize is this opportunity of getting more individuals, more great advisors, giving advice, providing financial planning, providing resources and solutions, and not just merely prospecting for them. As I talk about solutions and what we focus our advisors on, it's about having compelling resources, advice, and solutions. First and foremost, as an organization that not only serves clients with their retirement plans, we've also transitioned over the last 7 or 8 years and really invested into turning VALIC into a financial planning organization and culture. One of the key services that many of our advisors have is actually a full financial planning department in our home office that actually crafts and develops financial plans for our top advisors. We also have a wide range of products and services and solutions, which I'll talk to, that can help all clients and help advisors build their practices based on their strengths and opportunities. What that really provides us, on top of the technology, it provides our advisors a multidimensional opportunity to engage with their clients, to have a relationship in a multitude of ways, and not to always be forced to make a transactional sale because there's so many opportunities. Opportunities from their existing book of business, from the organizations that they're assigned to, as well as their opportunities to do seminars and educate to generate new clients. As we move on to the next slide, I talk about financial planning. like I mentioned earlier, that's how I started my career as a financial planner. And that's an area that I'm very passionate about. It's about the opportunity to meet every day with individuals, with families, not only to help them save, but to help them better protect what they've built up, to grow wealth, but also to pass that on. And we have a multitude of financial planning tools that I mentioned earlier. Since I've been here for the past 8 years, VALIC, the organization, has continued to reinvest back into the business of our advisors. And a fundamental part of that has been the foundation of financial planning. We have a comprehensive model. We also have a retirement financial 360 tool, which is really about generating retirement income streams and Monte Carlo projections, as well as a couple of new resources we've added in the last couple of years that have been a tremendous help to our advisors in terms of providing additional value to our clients, especially with regards to the state pension estimators, which really models over 500 state pensions, something that most other financial advisory firms don't have. On top of that, we recently added this year Advisory World, which is a portfolio analysis tool that we integrate right within our financial plans, which our advisors get as a resource and they don't have to pay additionally for. What these tools allow us to do as an organization is, like I mentioned earlier, to provide value, to enhance and deepen our client relationships within our assigned groups and books of business, and more importantly, have a wide variety of product solutions that we can bring forth to our clients. And that's extremely critical to our success. I think the next piece, as I talk about too, is not just only seeing clients, but the opportunity here for our advisors to get new clients, because obviously every year we still need to grow. We grow it through assets, but we also grow it through new client acquisition. And one of the exciting ways and opportunities that I've looked at on my team and throughout the company has been educating individuals and having the opportunity to be in front of more clients, educating them and telling them or informing them about saving and planning for the future. I came from a firm where we spent the majority of the days and weeks just figuring out how do we get in front of more people, how do we see more people, how do we even generate leads. Here, with these exciting group relationships, we could go to the HR departments, we could go to the benefits directors, and we'd say, we'd like to do a luncheon with your employees, and we'd like to invite them. All right, and we have a whole suite of seminars and registration tools that employees could actually go right on their internet, go on a link, and register for our seminars. They have a wide variety of topics from simple just retirement savings to their retirement plan at work, to other high-end strategies where we cover estate planning, legacy, and more retirement income tools. What this has allowed our advisors to do from a prospecting standpoint is also spend less time figuring out how to get in front of people and more time getting in front of great prospects and clients, and therefore generating a greater amount of business down the road. Which leads me to the next slide as I talk about the business model of being an advisor. We talk a lot, and I know before I came to the organization, I viewed VALIC as simply a retirement or a 403B company. And in the time that I've been here, we've been able to look at the tremendous opportunities to really grow the product solutions that we offer clients, but also how we bring advisors on that can come from different backgrounds. And I found this opportunity so compelling that I actually brought, when I came to VALIC 7 or 8 years ago, 4 of my top producers. And they actually moved from Michigan to Chicago to work with me. And I'm really proud to say that they're still with us today, and they're some of our top performers. And when I asked them what drew them here, number one was the opportunity to see and help more clients, but also, just as importantly, was to look at their business model and see what they could offer. And if you look here, we have a wide range of comprehensive financial solutions, an expansive array of selling agreements with numerous fund companies, as well as insurance organizations. So that if you came into our organization and you said, this is my background, or this is my strength, or these are the relationships I'm comfortable with, most of that will be transferable here in our business platform. And that's a tremendous advantage that I believe we bring to the table. not only for new clients that our new advisors get assigned to, but their old clients that they want to still help. Which leads me, how do we drive success from day one? And as you look at what we look at in terms of providing an opportunity is a commission schedule that pays, I think, best in class for an employee advisor model. A full range of benefits from day one. Ongoing support. One of the things that I'm still very passionate about is seeing our clients. I consider at my core, I'm a financial advisor. So the opportunity to work with our new advisors and our old advisors in doing client seminars, in doing meetings, in doing case analysis, it's something that I have a lot of passion about. And we have ongoing market analysis, certainly from an organization as large as AIG, as well as licensing fees, certified financial planner, designation support, etc. And with that, as I talk about investing back into our advisors on the next slide, continuously, what do our advisors look at? Lead generation. I mentioned earlier that the seminar management, as well as we actually have a group acquisition or a group management team that goes out and looks for new business. And when they get that new business, it goes right back to our advisors. They have the first opportunity to work with these new opportunities, as well as national advertising, public relations, as well and marketing tools and customer engagement with online and different resources. Which moves me to a slide I think is important for some of you, and I know for some advisors that I talk to, is what you get. I think starting from day one, what we provide is the first year is what we consider a training and development allowance. I call it a transitional compensation. So we provide $18,000 the first year, which is not a draw. So this is money that's paid directly to advisors, and we tier it out to allow you to ramp up and build a base. On top of that, Sean and Joe mentioned, we assign our advisors we bring on a book of business, and part of that book of business will generate residual and recurring compensation. On top of that, in addition, there's a comprehensive benefits package, and like I mentioned, the different contributions to the retirement plan up to 12%. But I think the most compelling opportunity that we present is if you look at the grid payout and our payout schedule, which is, number one, very competitive and in line with the industry. But more importantly, I want to draw your attention to the far right-hand side, the retroactive bonus, which means that anytime you hit a next tier level or grid level with our firm, you get a bonus that makes up for the previous grid level. So it's just not a tiered payout. It's a comprehensive, pure payout. And that's something that I know as I've talked to recruits and top advisors, that's one of the key decision points that draw them here. To expand on our compensation, I want to do a quick breakdown, draw your attention to our overview on the next slide. One of the things I look at in comparison is relative payout versus actually total economic value. As you can see here, if we use $150,000 of production or GDC as a baseline, and if you compare the two, a couple of things that I draw attention to. So someone from an independent model could earn an 85% payout on commissions, and we pay out 50% at that same rate. But when you start adding up all the components of running your own business, adding up other fees and expenses and ongoing, the very bottom line, or the next one, is the net economic value. What do we provide here? And I think even if you look at a 56 to 65% net payout from an independent platform, we certainly exceed that with all of our benefits. And that's not inclusive, if you look at the VALIC platform tab, that's not inclusive of the $18,000 first year transitional allowance and any residual compensation with the assigned book of business. So that's extremely critical in terms of the decision-making process. All right, in terms of what we expect, and these are, mind you, minimum standards for our first-year advisors. I think $1 million in rollovers in the first year. Rollovers we consider here are new assets that are brought to the firm that generate a new commission. Additionally, because there's assigned books of business, like I said, with existing 403B and retirement accounts mostly, there's opportunities for our advisors to generate additional compensation by doing internal transactions to more appropriate solutions, especially for retirees. A third and very important component is what I consider the return on a book of business, or as I look at here, it's the return on investment. As a district manager, I look at anyone I bring on as a franchise owner. And they have the opportunity when they get assigned a book of business to say, all right, what can I drive off of this? All right, what can I produce off of this? And one of the key metrics that I look at is, if you're assigned an X amount of a book of business, can you yield at least 10% of that in new assets that you bring on? So, case in point, if you're going to do $1 million, then most likely you'll look at getting a $10 million book of business. If you come into our firm and you say, I could do 3, 4, 5 million in new assets or rollovers, commissionable rolls my first year, then that's something that any district manager I know within our firm will be willing to put top advisors and give them and provide them a greater opportunity. What's also important is bringing on new clients. Client acquisition and growing the business is also critical to success. In addition to that, so is financial planning. I mentioned earlier, we are a financial planning culture, and my attitude is if you do one financial plan a week, you're going to be extremely successful. And especially in our business model, when there's an opportunity every single day to go into our groups and to go into meeting with our existing clients and retirees, tremendous opportunities to do financial planning, provide different kinds of resources and advice. Generate 3 times recurring revenue. This is something that also, as our advisors get assigned book of business, when they meet with a district manager to discuss the opportunities, is to look at, okay, if you're assigned a book of business that generates X amount of recurring revenue, do you produce at least 3 times of that in your first year to generate income? And I know for me, as I look at opportunities to reward our top producers, if someone exceeds those metrics in terms of 10% return on the book of business and they exceed 3 times recurring revenue, then that's who I make decisions to provide greater opportunities for in the following year in our business review. In terms of the sample book of business, this is a quick outline. So if you see, these are some of the key components that a district manager like myself and my peers would look at. AUM, assets under management. A typical book of business would range anywhere between 30 to 50 million. Assigned accounts, 300 to 600. We target recurring revenue of 10,000 to 30,000 from existing assets that are assigned. We'd certainly also look at placing our advisors. One of the things that a manager will speak to you about is the key organizations that you'll have access to in terms of working, and then that would lead to, based on the assigned book of business, what the expected revenue and production would be from that book of business. The key to this, and as I say, this is a sample, but it's really going to be dependent on experience, opportunity, and more importantly, when you come to the table and when you meet with one of our managers, what you'll bring to the table or what you'll be confident you'll bring to the table. And I know in speaking with my peers and colleagues, if there's a top producer, they'll find a way to get into our firm and provide them bigger opportunities because it's a good business decision. I know one thing that's also very important for a lot of top individuals that I speak with is what are the opportunities here, and also what are the opportunities to grow within our organization. I think this is where we look at individuals with a wide range of backgrounds. We have some of our top advisors. They're looking to bring someone in and support and help them grow the business. So we have paths for our junior advisors. We also have newly licensed advisors become enrollment specialists. So they work exclusively, in our school districts mainly, signing up new accounts, and they partner and refer larger balance clients or opportunities to our senior advisors, which also leads to the opportunity for our top advisors to come in as a financial advisor, like I said, a senior financial advisor, someone that works with a couple of juniors. And then a financial planning advisor is one that works specifically with our retirees, so high balance assets retirees. So this is really for our top producers and performers who want to come here and work with high-end clients. And we have opportunities for that, as well as opportunities to move into leadership. District manager, and I'll share an anecdote. One of the opportunities I saw a few years ago, even when I didn't have the opportunity to work with Jody anymore, I actually referred one of my advisors that I worked with 10 years ago, came into the firm, and within, I think, 18 months, he got promoted to become a district manager. So those are great opportunities. He's still with us today. He's doing very well for Joan's team. And then senior district manager is an individual that has a junior manager or associate district manager under them for bigger districts, as well as Joan's role, regional vice president. And I think on top of that, as we work for a large organization such as AIG, there's also opportunities certainly for top producers and performers to grow into a corporate role as well. So there's a multitude of career paths dependent on really experience, like I said, experience, opportunity, and really where our top individuals want to grow. So as I conclude my part of it is, certainly I think it is our mission to help more individuals. And I know for me, I look at always having the opportunity to bring on great people. And if I talk to a great individual and they want to make a change, I'll find room for my team and create those terrific opportunities. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to Joan.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kai. It's really clear that you have a passion for this business. That's always been clear to me since the day we met. Certainly, this company and what drives, our success, and most importantly, your advisors. You brought over some great people, and you talked about the top 4 guys advisors, male and female, that you brought over. I still call all 4 of them friends today, and I've had a couple visit me in Scottsdale. I've been to their weddings and still talk to them regularly. Just fantastic people. Again, I think that really says a lot about our organization. Really good summary of the support that our advisors receive, the tools available, competitive payouts, and again, a very comprehensive benefits package. And we believe these are all compelling reasons for all of you to consider VALIC as your broker-dealer home and a place to build your career. And with that, Dave, I think we may have some questions that have come in. Dave, did you have some questions that came in from the group?
I did. Can you hear me, Joan?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I muted myself. Yeah, we had a lot of questions from the audience right now, actually, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in here. And great job to y'all on a very thorough presentation. Let's start off with question number 1. Can you all explain a little bit more about how you assign these books of businesses and how you determine that for a new financial advisor that comes on board?
Sure, the book of business. Kai, do you want to go ahead and talk about that?
Absolutely. As a district manager, we make decisions in our business and in our practices around assigning books of business. But some of the key decision points would certainly be prior experience, certainly the opportunity of the individual in terms of previous performance and the book of business that they could work, as well as background. So, like I mentioned earlier, the sample book of business, that's just a sample, but typically we're targeting 30 to 50 million, 300 to 600 accounts. And so that's a significant number in terms of an experienced advisor coming in and working and seeing people from day one.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. And Joan, here's another question. Here's a candidate that indicates that they hold a Series 7, 24, 79, 99, 63, and 65 license. And is that something, if they come on board, that they would be able to keep all of those various FINRA licenses active?
That is a very good question, and I would certainly like to give a very accurate answer. I'll be honest that I don't know what a 79 and a 99 are. Right. I know that we do certainly hold licenses. Sean, any insight you might have there?
Joan, I was thinking exactly the same thing. There were 2 licenses there that I'm just not familiar with. I can say generally as an answer, if somebody has a license, a securities, any type of industry license, then the answer is yes. We hang those here. We pay for those licenses. So the general answer is yes. The only caveat would be I'd have to fully make sure I understand a couple of the licenses that I'm less familiar with.
Okay. Well, we'll keep a copy of that question for y'all, and you can certainly follow up afterwards with a little more details on that once everyone has a chance to check on that. Here's another question. Can you explain a little more about what a retirement plan specialist is? I think that was mentioned in one of the slides previously.
Retirement plan specialist.
Now, I wonder if that refers to a comment Kai made about our phone-based financial advisors who work at the Retirement Education Center?
Yeah.
I believe that is what they're indicating, correct.
Yeah, we do have a team of phone-based financial advisors that are housed here in Houston. There are about 65 of these phone-based financial advisors, and they work in concert and partnership with our field advisors. And so basically their duties principally would be asset retention as well as asset gathering and function for the most part like a field financial advisor. Okay,
very good. So that's another example of the various levels of support you provide the advisors out in the field.
Correct.
I have a lot of specific questions, Joan, about specific locations here that folks are asking about, and I think that's something we'll get to here at the end. Do you have any broad geographical regions, though, that you may be focusing on right now, for instance, the Southeast or Southwest or something along those lines?
Well, certainly, as I mentioned, I manage the Southwest. Yes, and we're across the country. We're looking for really great people. I mean, we're looking for people to maybe join a team if they're newer to the business, and as Kai mentioned, veteran advisors that could come in and manage a book of business of retired, more clients getting close to retirement or they just retired, who really can come in and do full financial planning, with our participants. So, I think in the end we will address how people can contact us. But, I would say across the country, we do have very unique opportunity.
Yeah, very good. And again, we will get to that at the very end on how the best way to go and look for specific opportunities here in a moment. Another great question here is, can you explain a little more about expectation-wise, is kind of what some averages on what your VALIC financial advisors make on average, or what their compensation average is for, let's say, years, first year and then kind of beyond?
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to take that. The average income of an advisor with 2 or more years of experience at VALIC is right about $150,000, just above $150,000. Like all averages, important to know that's the average. There are advisors who make considerably more than the average, but right about $150,000.
Okay, very good. Sounds like a great opportunity. In addition to the compensation, do you mind, Joan, or someone elaborating a little bit more specifically on the additional benefits that come with the package?
Sure. I can do that. So it is a full benefit package as any AIG employee would receive. So medical, dental, numerous options there, eye care, disability coverage. We pay E&O insurance. We pay all your licensing fees. The 401k has a 6% match, vested platform, plus we have a cash balance plan that you can immediately enter into. It's a full, comprehensive package, as well as support that you would receive regionally. We do a lot of marketing. I have a marketing team, as we all do, the regions, marketing team, and doing mailings and email blasts out to your groups and clients, and supporting seminars, supporting all those type of events, again, that get you in front of people, because our goal is to always have you in front of clients, not really, in the background kind of planning all that. So, full, deep benefit package.
Okay, very good. It was mentioned in one of the earlier slides a little bit about some of the tools you provide your advisors to help with financial planning for their clientele and prospects. Can you elaborate a little bit more about some of the tools you provide that help in that capacity?
Kai, do you want to address that? Kai, do you want to address that?
Yeah, could you repeat that? I got cut off.
Yeah, Kai, I'm sorry about that. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the financial planning software tools and some of the other technology tools you provide to your advisors?
Absolutely. Great question. The financial planning tools, we actually purchased a company 7 or 8 years ago from KPMG Consulting called Acumen, and they've actually worked as a firm side by side with our home office in terms of developing that. But our financial planning tools range from like a comprehensive financial plan that I think everyone is familiar with. Additionally, there's also topicals that we consider, so specifically just for retirement or education or insurance planning. Additionally, on top of that, like I said, we have the Monte Carlo retirement projectors, as well as different tools that our clients could use online. Other pieces of technology I know that are really valuable for advisors is a lot of our forms in terms of doing business are online. Our advisors all provided with laptops and electronic signature pads. Most of their client information is sent in and scanned. We also have a neat tool called the Advisor Dashboard, where literally a new advisor can come in and see every aspect of their assigned book of business in terms of clients, previous notes from their interactions with their former advisor or with home office, along with what product lines they have or haven't done, and other triggering points. So there's a multitude of resources and tools that our advisors can use, not only to serve and advise existing clients, but also to look at their previous relationships with the organization.
Great.
This is Sean, and just one thing I would echo is I believe that our financial planning tools, our software, state-of-the-art. One of the benefits of owning the company, which Kai mentioned, we own Acumen. Benefit of owning the company is that we're able to make changes very quickly when those are needed. Certainly there are other terrific companies out there that provide financial planning tools and software. What's great about owning the company, pretty easy for us to go there and say, here's what we need done, and it gets done. So all of the changes that we've made to our financial planning tools, they've come as a direct result of feedback from our advisors, the folks who are actually using these tools to help their clients.
Very good. Thank you very much. All right, we got some good questions here coming in now. Now they're getting specific, so that's a good thing. Great question here is, it was mentioned earlier about bringing on new groups or new schools, hospitals, et cetera. Is that the responsibility of an advisor, or is there a group sales department that they team with that handles that?
Yeah, this is Sean. I'll go ahead and take that. We do have a team, a dedicated team that they're dedicated to both group acquisition and group retention. However, I will say that what we found over time is sometimes the best resources for new group opportunities actually come from advisors themselves. We've had advisors who known key decision makers. They help us to bring on a group. Works out well for the advisor who then works that group. But to answer the question very specifically, we do have a team that's dedicated to new group acquisition.
Very good. Thank you. For new advisors coming on board, can you talk a little bit about kind of the minimum requirements you have to join VALIC?
Yes, I can address that. I think minimum requirements. Well, we hire people who have been successful in sales, maybe in other areas, and we've supported them and helped people get licensed. Recent college grads, people with finance degrees, economics, interested in the markets, we also support them. But we hire, I would say, a lot of people from banks, other firms where they've gone through a really good training program, but then they realize how difficult it is to build a business. I personally came on, again, 19 years ago, but I came from Prudential, a large insurance company, and when I first went there, I had to bring that list of the names of 200 friends and associates, and you run through that list, kind of in your first 6 months or a year, and then you're trying to build and get referrals. So we find a lot of people who are, they're motivated about this business. They want to be in the business, but they find it difficult just to continue to generate leads and referrals. So we hire a lot of those people into our organization, and because of our book and the opportunity that we have here. So I think having experience is great, but we also have a lot of homegrown financial advisors, and we bring on a lot of veteran advisors, people who really get to a point where they're looking for that total support and benefit package.
Very good. So it certainly would shorten the learning curve. It sounds like if someone were already trained and FINRA licensed, but you do, it sounds like, have opportunities for those that perhaps are not licensed as well.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, well, good. Let's see here. We've got a few more questions kind of from the audience here. They're all kind of along the same lines here, so I think we'll probably jump to the last question here, and this will answer a bunch of them. But, Joan, could you tell the folks out here, how to find out about opportunities that you currently have available and what the next steps would be?
Yes, actually, we have Paul Valeros on the line, and he is one of the talent acquisition managers, actually, for me in the Southwest. So, Paul, I'm going to hand it to you.
Okay, thank you, Joan, and I wanted to thank all the participants today and everyone that's interested in learning about opportunities with us. As Joan mentioned, my name is Paul Valeros. I'm part of the talent acquisition team. We're about 20 professionals across the United States, different regions of the U.S. We're primarily looking for, financial advisors and other people who are interested in other parts of the business as well. How to find us? All you have to do is go to www.aig.com/careers, and the VALIC company site is www.valic.com. I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody. I can be reached at 602-674-6458, or you can go ahead and send me an email at paul.valeros, VALEROS, @aig.com. Now, I know that this audience is across the United States, and if, for example, you're thinking of an opportunity in the Southwest, that's my region, be happy to help you out. If you're looking for maybe someplace in the Northeast or another part of the U.S., I would be happy to send your information to one of my colleagues in that region. Thank you, everybody.
Very good. Thank you so much, Paul. And we had a few questions from some audience members talking about specific locations. I know I saw Omaha, Nebraska, and Philadelphia, and a few others mentioned as well. So those folks could reach out to Paul directly, and he'd be able to pass you along to the appropriate person. But Joan, would you like to share any closing thoughts?
Yes. Again, I'd like to thank you all for joining the call today, and even if you just want to explore an opportunity and see if it would be a good fit for you, one of the things that we like to do is have prospective advisors talk to our current advisors, right? Current advisors will give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and which sometimes turns out to be paperwork, as we all know. But we would like to engage and speak with you, and thank you so much for getting on the call today, and thank you to my colleagues.
Very good. And thank you all very much. This is David Testerman again with Broker Hunter. That was a great presentation, and it certainly looks like a compelling opportunity for a lot of folks out there today. I do want to thank each of the audience members today, for your time, for taking an hour of your time to find out about this great opportunity. I did also want to let you know that this webinar, we've recorded it. Everyone on the call will be sent a link to the recording, as well as information, as Paul indicated here, on next steps should you have an interest in finding out some more information. So just keep an eye out for this email later on this afternoon. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for their time today, and thank you, VALIC, for a wonderful presentation. This concludes today's webinar. Have a great day.